Babylon Bee stuns Joe Rogan into silence on abortion. We're going to analyze their debate as a textbook example of persuasion. We're going to see how the lamestream media is actually trying to gaslight it and spin it. And make sure to stick with me at the very end of this video when I'll show you precisely why Seth Dillon left Joe Rogan utterly speechless. You are not going to want to miss this. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, helping to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's dive right in.
You don't have the right to tell my 14-year-old daughter she has to carry her rapist baby. You understand that?
To look that woman in the eye who was the born
listen,
of a rape.
Do you understand that? That's a 14-year-old child. If a 14-year-old child gets raped, you say that they have to carry that baby?
All right, let's stop here because this is perhaps the single most fallacious argument that's infected the discourse surrounding the issue of abortion, and yet it's probably the single most common tactic among those to try to defend abortions. Now, first and foremost, Rogan is making what's called a category error in logic. It's technically known as equivocation, in that in defending abortion in general, he's confusing two fundamentally different types of pregnancies. It's essential that we understand the distinction between voluntary pregnancies, which statistically account for 98% of all pregnancies, and involuntary pregnancies, which account for no more than 2%. Now, in fairness to Rogan, the majority of Americans favor exempting involuntary pregnancies from abortion bans. But logically speaking, what may be true of involuntary pregnancies is not necessarily true for voluntary pregnancies, precisely because they are indeed apples and oranges. They are two fundamentally different types of pregnancies. So Rogan's argument, as stated, doesn't work. You can't justify all abortions without exception by appealing to the exception. I'll say that again. You can't justify all abortions without exception by appealing to the exceptions. It's also known as the fallacy of composition, which assumes that what's true of the part is also true of the whole. Again, we can demonstrate this very easily. Just say to the abortion advocate, fine, I will join you in advocating for a total reproductive freedom when it comes to all forced pregnancies, involuntary pregnancies. So then will you join me in calling for the banning of abortion when it comes to the other 98%? So let's see how Seth Dillon answered Rogan.
I don't think two wrongs make a right. I don't think
That's
murder.
not- I don't think that's
murder is
wrong.
an answer to